an adventure in violence that will rip your heart out. Cutthroats 9. Violence is their way of life. It's the one movie that you must not see alone. What you see here is only a sample of what is in store for you in Cutthroats 9. For your protection, you will be given the terror mask free at the entrance. We urge you to use it if the violence is more than you can stand.
As all three of you who went to go see Sin City, A Dame to Kill For may know, there's a teaser trailer out there for Quentin Tarantino's new film, The Hateful Eight, due out sometime in 2015. I must say, news of this very early teaser trailer makes me... what kind of snob am I here? Am I in the pro-Tarantino camp, like a lot of critics? Or am I one of those, I hate his movies, but it's okay when other movies do it snobs? Or do I secretly like him, but because he's popular, I only say I hate him because that'll make me look cool? Well, the person playing me likes him, so I guess I do too. With a plot line involving bounty hunters trapped in a blizzard and fighting for survival, and a cast that includes Bruce Dern, Zoe Bell, Kurt Russell, and James Remar, this will be on my must-watch list of 2015, if I'm not too busy watching shit. But if you can't wait that long to see a movie about blizzard survival, and with a number in the title, no need to wait for The Hateful Eight, just chain yourself down and pop in a copy of the 1972 film Cutthroats 9. A movie often considered to be one of the most violent westerns ever produced, and probably the bleakest western since the Great Train Robbery shot the audience to death. This Spanish western, wait, Spanish? How could that be? I was told all violent westerns were spaghetti westerns, and that all spaghetti westerns were Italian. You're getting your gazpacho in my pasta. Actually, that sounds quite delicious. Let's see how this turns out. Wait, what the fuck? Didn't I just watch this movie last week? I sure hope the number in this title isn't referring to a group of murderous children. The film was directed by Joaquin Romero Merchant, best known for playing Johnny Cash, directing a series of zombie films, and co-creating The Office. And I realize that Cutthroats 9 is the title, but we're not going to get anywhere if you keep pausing the movie. Cutthroats 9 is the most prominent title of the film, the other one being Bronson's Revenge. You know, just in case anyone confused this film with Death Wish, especially seeing how there's no one named Bronson in it. What is it about the Old West and people driving through the mountains? Surely there's a bike trail somewhere. Here we meet the man in charge, Sergeant Brown.
I don't know how often I dreamed of leaving the mine. It was constantly on my mind.
My real dream is to be a male model. Sergeant Brown is in charge of transporting 7 prisoners through the mountains. These are the roughest of the rough. There's Dean Stockwell, Tuco from Breaking Bad, Clifton Collins Jr., Ron Perlman, Powers Booth, Dean Stockwell again, and Andy Samberg.
No one knows what he's in for, but he's got life.
I know what he's in for. That's my boy. They at least seem hygienic.
Hey, when are you gonna stop the damn wagon? I gotta go bad.
Do it in your pants.
Oh, you got it all over my shoes. That's where I spit my chew. The twist occurs when a plane carrying a group of rugby players crashes into them. So many character actors, and they didn't invite Harry Dean Stanton. He looks pissed. Plus, he's on his way to shoot that stupid alternate opening to A Fistful of Dollars. A team of bandits hijack the stagecoach, because you just gotta expect that. Well, shit, I just found the flaming horse. Do you know how long it's gonna take me to find that again? And John Marston needs some sleep. Obviously, we've stumbled upon a wagon of submissives. They search the wagon for gold because obviously, if you were a stagecoach in the Old West, it doesn't matter if you're transporting prisoners or debutantes, you are always carrying gold with you. This doesn't look like it'll end well. Well, there's one cutthroat. Hurry, son, with that hat you can fly away in a jiffy. Oh, wait, did I sit on the remote again, or are we going into a flashback? If they take their clothes off, this could be a rather incestuous scene from Caligula. Nothing like a runaway stagecoach to remind you of frolicking with your best girl. Maybe if you weren't thinking with your dick, this crisis could have been averted. And then they make their way to a winter lodge and murder vacationers. I'm not sure if Devil Times 5 needed its own From Dusk Till Dawn 3, The Hangman's Daughter. You might think this injury is from the accident, but he's actually suffering from the hip gout. By the way, I think you've been shot in the head. Damn, there's probably not a house around for blocks. This is gonna get pretty tense.
Hold on to it and do what you're told.
Let's say I don't.
And I'll put a bullet in your guts.
Gonna shoot him with a machete there, big guy? Maybe if they walk towards the Paramount Studios mountain, they can get a bigger budget. Soon they'll find a manger so she can give birth to our Lord and Savior. This is Sergeant Brown's daughter, and who the fuck brings their daughter on a prison transport? And that's not even the only offspring we have here.
Dandy. Ain't you gonna help me?
Oh, come on, he's already invited you on the father-son chain gang trip. What more do you want? They'll give him plenty of help. They'll put him next to a warm fire, and I'm guessing they're drawing straws on who gets to snuggle with them. Oh, never mind, it's to see who gets to grab him to death. And just because they're a group of rapists and murderers stuck in the mountains doesn't mean there's no time for a little flirting. Walks through the mountains can be hell when there's no one there to sing about building a snowman or what a spadoinkle day it is. I must say, with one friendly gesture, this has become the best love story I've seen since Fled.
Don't ever get that close again. Do you hear?
Sure, I won't get that close, as long as you quit pausing the movie and cutting to a flashback. Throw in a shot of a honey badger and some Robert Frost narration, and you got yourself Terrence Malick's Gettysburg. The way war was meant to be seen. The whole trip is personal for Sergeant Brown, who is under the impression one of the prisoners is the one who murdered his wife.
I only remember she died too young. And that one of those men murdered her.
Or I accidentally drove off a ledge with my shitty stagecoach driving. My memory is a little fuzzy. And what about that dead body that they're carrying around? Uh-oh. Wait, now you can't blame us. He clearly had cremation in his will. Well, great. Now he's never gonna walk again. When pointing out to the audience that the audio is slightly out of sync, the convicts discover that their chains are made of gold. It could be worse. They could be stuck with boxes of the movie Chains of Gold.
Your situation remains the same, gold or not.
You knew about this. It could have cost us our lives, Sarge, you know.
I'm gonna tear you into bits and pieces before this thing is over, Sergeant.
Yeah, they have their standards when being transported to prison for life. If anything, they should take this as a compliment. Only the most expensive in chains for these convicts. Then again, maybe it's in their best interest to take a stand. Or not. That's okay, that foot had gold poisoning anyway. So, how are you enjoying your field trip, sweetie?
Each one of those men deserves the gallows. I just hope you never have to see what they might do if they trap me.
And if she does, it's your own damn fault for bringing her. Take your daughter to work day is one thing, but not when said work can get kinda rapey. And now he has to carry her. Best burn her and chop her foot off, that'll help. The boys find a lodge where every fridge is stocked with the finest in Tennessee whiskey. Sergeant Brown passes out in the snow. I can't imagine why they wouldn't help him. Oh, it's to beat the shit out of him. I guess that's a good reason.
You make it too easy for him to die. Much too easy.
I want him to die real slow.
You're gonna have to be more specific. The Old West was when simply being alive was considered a slow death. And gee, I wonder where the fuck this is going. This is getting pretty dark for a movie that started out about side hackers. And now the convicts are getting flashbacks? Did he used to be married to Lady Christina Hendricks?
We're gonna see that you get fixed up good. You can be sure of that, Brown.
Well, that's nice of them. They're gonna bandage his wounds. In case this wasn't bleak enough already, here's a flashback to his wife getting killed. I don't know where I'd rather be. In the past with the pregnant wife stabbing, or in the present with the daughter rape. Can I just watch Little Rita now? I have the feeling that this movie made it to 90 minutes only because of the constant freeze framing throughout it. Maybe that means someone in the audience has a question about the film. Better pause it! That, and I think they actually are murdering their actors. Wait, so is Sergeant Brown dead now? Oh, what the hell? Our, hero died halfway into the movie? Boy, I sure am gonna miss him shooting unarmed people and flashing back to women on swings. Don't worry, lady. Inmate Christopher Lambert is here to protect you, because he did so well earlier. He'll fight off any new obstacle. The spaghetti western, where an icy cold stare was 10 times more powerful than a bullet. And because no one died in 5 minutes, choke, motherfucker, choke! I bet they're missing Sergeant Brown at this point. His constant shooting people was a good motivation for them. At least they could have had a better food supply. There's their problem. They hired a deer with a no-death clause. There's often a fine line between spaghetti western and post-apocalyptic film. I'm just saying, would anyone be surprised if they stumbled upon the ruins of Manhattan? This guy sure is being nice. Probably because he's the one who killed her mom. Good thing they set up this revenge plot for a hero who died halfway through. I don't like it when things are unpredictable. Maybe that's what Bronson's revenge means. You want to see someone act out their revenge? Watch 10 to Midnight. These guys had better start getting along soon.
One more like that and I'll bug you.
You're gonna fuck him in the ass with a strap on? And why are we flashing back to James Garner running through the woods? Good one, flashback. You caused slapstick comedy to come afoot. Whoa, I shouldn't have said afoot. Ugh. I heard the same thing happened to Spoonie at one of the charity drives. Let's just keep things politically correct here, fellas.
We'll make it to the farm and that's it.
Gold will wind up choking us to death. You always feel like a slave to it.
A rich slave, though.
Guys, time and setting. Ixnay on the Ave sleigh. Soon they find some train tracks, and why not? Go ahead and ruin your gold. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a toy train set. The hell kind of whistle is that? Get it? 'Cause using a train to cut off your chains is a gamble, I guess? Let's finish out this flashback. Your move, Old West Bond. John Wilkes Booth had to test his aim out a couple of times before Our American Cousin. Crap, maybe we should have tried hopping the train. Don't worry, the Snowpiercer will be back in a year. Best set up camp before day for nightfall. One of the guys makes off with their provisions, and joke's on him, the whiskey is made of gold too. Hey, good news guys, I found more mountains! What's the worst that could happen to him? There's that. He could stumble upon the Blair Witch. And Zombie Sergeant Brown? What the fuck is going on here? Zombie Sergeant Brown is way more likable than real Sergeant Brown. At least the Zombie Sergeant Brown didn't take his daughter with him. I gotta say, this is way funnier than A Million Ways to Die in the West, provided there isn't an all-important sheet pissing scene. The boys still need to come up with a plan, though.
Well, we could start acting like smart human beings and try to help each other to survive.
Yeah.
Unless we find something nobody's looking for.
Like a copy of Wagons East. Needless to say, this is the most awkward Cub Scout camping trip I've ever seen.
I'm only waiting to see all of you dead.
Don't say that.
Yeah, what did we ever do to you? Meanwhile, I See Dead People teams up with the Bandits, and with these gold chains, they can finally start their own rap label. That is, if no one gives them a gun. Now he's gonna chop off his own foot, just for old time's sake. Look how wide this chain is! I easily could have slipped through this the whole time. And where there's whiskey, of course there's cards. Easy. I know he's only holding 2 pair, but let's see if he can bluff his way out of this. It's pretty late in the movie, but we finally get our musical number. Charming. That was certainly no Oklahoma. Now they're just harassing the bar patrons. And be careful fucking with this guy. He might be Robert Mitchum. You sure you guys should be drinking with Burt Reynolds still on the loose? There's only 10 minutes of the movie left, so why not play some solitaire and sleep? Or they could just kill the bartender. Jesus Christ! And all of that was over a dispute involving $5 and a bottle of gin. It could have at least been for a good booze, like Clinker Brick. After Hero Convict sticks up for his girl, he ends up getting stabbed as well. What's this? He's the one who killed the wounded prisoner? Well, shit. Now I have the exact same opinion of him. Oh, and he also killed Sergeant Brown's wife. Go figure, the one guy who it didn't say what he was in jail for is the one whose background was a mystery. Also, Jesus, I get it, she died! And why have I only seen one throat cut so far? This movie should be called Foot Cuts 9. And for revenge, the daughter is finally gonna get that fucking Roadrunner. Hopefully she can make it out in time and... Weird. I didn't think this was gonna be the kind of movie where everyone died at the end. Well, that was nothing like the Old West. Where were the pinup girls? Where was the singing? Where was the dancing? I will stick with more realistic westerns, thank you very much. Like Paint Your Wagon, the most realistic of the Man with No Name trilogy. And while The Hateful Eight will have to go out of its way to be a bleaker film than this, it'll also have stiff competition with the official remake of Cutthroats 9 still in development, which has Harvey Keitel attached. That's the one person you'd expect would be one of the Hateful Eight. Needless to say, as far as Cutthroats 9 goes, I expected more wholesomeness out of the director of I Do Not Forgive, I Kill. Kill with forgiveness, obviously. Maybe I should have been warned off by the box cover, which looks like someone gnawing their own hand off. Perhaps if the film was shot in 70mm CinemaScope, I would have been more forgiving. What am I saying? Am I really the kind of cinema snob that would only recommend an exploitation film just because it's shot in CinemaScope? Huh. Yes. Yes, I am.